Okay, this is in Fort Worth, Texas. This is June the 3rd. This is about, I don't know, about 5 p.m. And you can see this is a maple tree. The maples seem to be the ones that are getting the burn the most. And they're the ones, they really can't handle this. And it's like, I mean, if you look throughout the tree, it's mainly on the outsides. The perimeters of the trees are the ones that are getting it the most. And you can just see the discoloration. It's not fall, it's July the 3rd. This isn't normal. This is not what we typically have. So I'm hoping you can get a good look with the camera. You can see the browns and the burn, you know, and I'm getting up close on them. This is a maple tree. This is what's happened on all the maple trees around here. That's what it looks like, you know, up close. They're just, it's a gray, and you can see the burn on the green ones. There's like a burn on them. You know, and you can see those spots. Spots are pretty clear as well, you know. I don't... You know, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. I don't know what it's some type of acid rain. It's pretty obvious that it's some type of acid rain. Look, I don't know if you can see because the lighting's kind of low down here, but the tree, the leaves inside are all green. This is another maple, I believe. I think that's a maple or an oak. You can get a good look at the tree right there. But the leaves, you know, inside are greener and they're a little bit, you know, more normal. But as you start coming out, they start getting this brown. I don't even know what that is on it. But it's like a brown dusting, a brown, I don't know. And the leaves are real faded. But it's definitely been burned, and around the edges, you know, you get all of these brown and really just like drab green, brown, taupe colored leaves with this stuff all over it, whatever it is. You know, and it's not fall. It's July the 3rd. That's what's really trippy. I don't see that right there. I'm going to walk you through how I first noticed this stuff. This is a lime tree, which I planted about 2 weeks ago. You can see the white residue that's been left from the rain all over it. And I planted this lime tree, this lemon tree, you can see the residue there as well, and this blueberry tree. Planted it 2 weeks ago, maybe a little over 2 weeks ago. And that's why I've been out here. I mean, I kind of keep an eye on things anyway, but I first noticed it with this tree. This tree used to be real vibrant. I watered it every night while I was out here, and the leaves were all up. You know, they were lifting up towards the sun. It's all droopy now. It just looks like it's taken a beating. It's taken a beating. And it is just like, everything, it's all droopy, and some of it's been eaten through and this and that or whatever, but initially I thought that might be aphids, you know, or some type of insect just feasting down or something, right? But look at the leaves, man.
Coast Guard planes are flying overhead at night spraying Corexit. You know, you're asking me, do you think it's getting on land? I'm telling you it's getting sprayed on land. You know, and I know from my work with pesticide applications that even if you have a very good pilot, the drift can be of concern, but the secondary effects are the kind of volatilization, evaporation, and then movement. So it's applied, it sits on the surface, it comes on up a little bit, and then it moves around. And you know wave action, you know a bird landing there and then coming over here and landing there is going to be another mechanism to transport it. So do I think that there's dispersants mixing with our everyday lives? Absolutely. The Corexit dispersant issue is a complex and scary one. It's scary from the point of a toxicologist. It's complex from the point of the resource manager. My doctoral advisor, Dr. Ron Cherdima at UC Davis, was actually on the panel that they had used to advise for the dispersant use. They use a cost-benefit analysis. The costs of cleaning up the shore outweigh the costs of applying dispersants at the sea. Therefore, they perceive the benefit of the dispersants outweigh their negative effects. Okay, what value can you really put on the entire ecosystem of the Gulf that is threatened? They've turned a two-dimensional problem of oil floating on the surface into a three-dimensional problem of oil bound with Corexit, creating substances we know very little about, you know, transforming in the environment through bacterial process into other chemicals that we know absolutely nothing about, that is going to be impacting just about every single marine organism, including ourselves, okay? People need to realize that their water, their air, the sand they're walking on, the things they're touching when they wake up in the morning are coated with this stuff. And if you see it in a high concentration, it looks like radiator fluid. It is not a pretty sight, and the stuff is toxic.
Tonight's big story, a mystery is unfolding across Mid-South farms. Something is killing crops, trees, even weeds, and nobody seems to be able to explain why. Thank you for joining us. I'm Richard Ransom.
I'm Claudia Barr. The farmers are scratching their heads, and some are worried their crops may be lost to the mysterious plague. It's happening along a large swath of land near the Shelby and Tipton County border, along Herring Hill Road, and elsewhere near the Mississippi River bottoms. Sean Scheibot is just back with more.
Richard, Claudia, take a close look. This is what has farmers worried. These tiny dots look as though something burned straight through the leaf, and they're finding this everywhere.
The tiny dots appear different depending on the plant. On corn stalks, the dots seem to turn white in the center. On other plants, a white dust speckles the leaves, then destroys the green life underneath.
We found it all in the herbs, in the flowers, in the plum tree, in the weeds. It's apparently on everything.
Tony Holt grows organic produce that she sells at area farmers markets. As these farmers inspect the new growth covered in the perplexing plague, they fear their entire crop may be lost. Just down the road, less than 10 miles at Wilder Farms, the damage could possibly hit hundreds of acres of corn.
It's sudden, and it's so wide, it's so large out here. Everybody's seeing it.
It appears to have hit everything: crops, weeds, trees, and there's nothing in common. The Holts raise organic crops, so they don't spray pesticides on any of their fruits and vegetables. The first thought was a parasite or insect, but Wilder Farms sprays pesticides, and the damage is just the same. Farmers here first noticed the damaging dots over the weekend. Then Holt came home to find this: baby martins dead.
There's two dead birds hanging out of two different gourd houses, and so we're concerned about that. We don't know that it's related, but it's alarming. You know, we have horses. We're concerned about the horses on the grass. We've got chickens. We sell our eggs at the market.
Now, the farmers that we spoke with are convinced that something in the air caused this damage. They're asking the USDA as well as other experts to look into this problem, and we are too. Reporting live downtown, Sean Scheibot, WREG News Channel 3.
All right, thank you, Sean.